This is an explanation for a 2-week hybrid module. Weeks 13 and 14 will be 2 weeks that you'll have opportunity to work on 5 activities that will probably take longer than what you would normally do in a 1-week hybrid module. So please don't procrastinate. Please complete these as soon as possible so you won't get behind and have some time to finish working on assignments that you may not have turned in yet. In a nutshell, this week, in the next 2 weeks, you will meet with your literature group either via WebEx or using your literature group wiki to discuss some historical fiction. You're going to respond to some questions about your experiences using biographies. You're going to share reflections from articles read evaluating nonfiction science books. You will view a chapter excerpt from a read aloud handbook, and I want you to read chapters 11 and 12. You will select one of those chapters to list a set of ideas from that chapter. So let's see what's inside this folder. The first activity is your historical fiction discussion. I want you to respond to these questions either in your literature group via WebEx or in your literature group wiki. It's a choice. You'll have to collaborate on that and make a compromise and decide and let the majority rule in regards to which way it will be. If your group decides to discuss this through a WebEx and you send me the link, I will give you extra credit. These are the 2 articles that you will read, and you will respond to the questions that I have posed here in this activity. Your second activity is an independent activity. You're going to share memories of biography reading from your childhood. Whose biographies did you read or hear? Often mentioned are Christopher Columbus, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, or Helen Keller. You may have read those, you may have read others. Why did you read these biographies? What do you remember about your feelings about the subject of the biography? And then I want you to brainstorm and list some names of famous individuals you would like to know more about today. And then I want you to use this list to search for children's and adolescent biographies written about these individuals. Are famous women and minorities on your list? Are biographies for these people available for children? And I want you to post these responses in weeks 13 and 14 wiki. Your third activity is about nonfiction. Locate and read the following articles from the Hornbook magazine. So you're going to look up what makes a good science book, what makes a good dinosaur book, Beyond Barney, and More Than the Facts following science books. Each of these articles bring up interesting points about reading nonfiction science books. I want you to reflect on how the points in these articles complement or contrast each other and the suggestions for evaluating nonfiction in Chapter 10. Post this reflection in your Week 13-14 wiki. Now, I did not post these because I'm having trouble posting them, so here's an explanation on how to link articles if you are having trouble finding the linked articles or finding articles to view. You go to the library web page and you type in the name of the article, which I've given you here, and if you type it right in on the home page, it should come up with a list of articles, but this is a video to explain that if you need that. Then I want you to take a look at an expert from some chapters from Jim Trelease's book on Read Aloud. Jim Trelease is a very popular author who has spent much of his life talking about read alouds. And this is from one of his books that we may have read in class, but we're going to read the excerpts from a chapter in this website. And if you click on here, you will go right to the website. I want you to pick a chapter, whatever chapter you want, and I want you to post a summary or reflection in the Week 13-14 wiki, and then you need to comment on 2 of your colleagues' postings of chapters different than yours. So if you pick chapter 1, do not pick somebody who has read chapter 1. Hopefully people will pick chapters that are more to their liking or they can relate better to. And then I want you to comment about what they had written in their reflection. The last activity is to read chapters 11 and 12 and then pick one of those chapters. Chapter 11 refers to using literature in your instruction for grades, primary grades, and then chapter 12 is for higher intermediate and middle school. So depending on what grade you might like to teach, pick that chapter and then find at least 10 ideas that chapter offers to infuse literature into your instruction. There may be ideas within the teaching ideas in the book, or it may be just throughout the chapter. Ideas or thoughts that you could use in your classroom that resonate with you in regards to that grade level you're going to teach. And then you're going to post these ideas in your week 13 and 14 wiki as well. Here's the wiki that you will post in that. And these are the activities you'll do over the next 2 weeks. If you find you have some additional time, which I hope you do, then you can spend completing your reader response blogs, your self-selected book log, that reflection, any of the assignments you don't have done. I will be grading during the next 2 weeks to get caught up on grading, and you'll be seeing some of your grades for your assignments. As always, if you have questions about this week or anything in the course, don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise, I'll see you online.